Hi, this is just an additional attachment to the PowerPoint presentation which I had done and the video which I had loaded. This is the Excel spreadsheet which I have used in computing all the stuff. So what you see here is the initial assumptions starting from empty weight, fraction, sea level row, acoustic speed, and all that stuff. And you also have pages here, requirements, where initial requirements are given. Range is 1,000 kilometers, endurance is 3 hours, payload is 500 kgs, 5 passengers, one crew, cruise velocities. And along with this, there are some assumptions I had to make to start the computation. One is, of course, sea level density. Next is specific fuel consumption, that's zero point 0.5 kgs per kilowatt hour. Crew mass assumed to be 90. On an average, that's what everybody does. Passengers is 100 kgs. So when you say initial mass estimation, you can start with the payload as 500 as given by the requirement. Passenger plus crew is 590. That's 100 into 5 plus 90. Fuel required based on assumptions is 1800 kg. And useful mass is this, and empty mass will be this. So let's start the calculations. So with this, we start the calculations. Let's say this starts with 6,000 kgs. This my assumption. Initial guess for the power required is around 1200. This is about the same ballpark as other helicopters around. And some of them are more, some of them are less, but this is about the starting value. So now, with this initial mass and the total power and the range, endurance, SFC mass given, payload, power curve, these are uh, computed based on assumptions. Fuel required is using SFC and the power. So if I change the power, fuel required mass will change. So the useful mass is 2,890 out of 6,000 kgs, and the empty mass is 3,318. So if I look at this total, what I have computed and the initial mass, the difference is delta. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a tool which is available in Excel called the solver. Okay. In this case, I go to data and then I click on solver. It comes with a window. So in this case, you have seen set objective. What is my objective? To ensure that this part is zero. That's my starting mass and the computed mass are same. So the difference should be zero, but if I put zero, there will be some calculation error. So I put a small one number called one. By changing what? I'm going to change here. I'm going to change this by initial mass. If I instead of 6,000, if I had taken some other mass, what would have been the result? So here it comes and I accept it. It says, okay, if I had taken 6,470 odd, then my computed based on all this fuel requirement, useful, empty, everything would be same as what I have done. This is one part I can do. The next thing is why I should be changing only the mass. I can change also the power because that also is initial guess. So I go to the next thing here and I again go back to the solver and says, okay, minimize this quantity by changing this quantity. So it comes back with the result and says if I had taken 880 kilowatts as my starting initial power, things would have been good in the sense that I would have got the same mass of 6,000 kgs. So this you can keep on doing this until you have a good enough computation for 6,000 mass and the power. Of course, you can, if you write a program in Python or MATLAB, you can also simultaneously alter both of these to get the best possible thing. But in Excel, this will give you an idea of how things vary. So if I look at the 6,000 kg mass and my initial assumption of power of 1200, I compute all the dimensions of main rotor, tail rotor, major dimensions, rotation, wing tip, everything else what I have talked about in the previous video. And also I have computed added here induced power, uh, profile power, and parasite power, and total power. If you look at this total power, I am getting about 1368 kilowatts. My initial assumption was 1200. So somewhere my assumptions with the drag coefficient and other things are a little over the top. But then, as I said, now this is the initial calculations. We have to keep doing that. Just for the sake of comparison, I have here the case of Sikorsky, an existing Black Hawk helicopter. You know the movie Black Hawk Down. That helicopter, its initial mass is maximum mass is 9,970 kgs, and you can verify the diameter that is 16 meters there, and I'm getting a radius of 8 here. So most of the things around the similar, and the power required is 2200 kilowatts, and that's about the same as what is reported in public domain. So this is the four sheets are there: requirements, initial weight estimation, unit conversion, and we can add things as we go along here. So if anybody is interested in this spreadsheet, which is just preliminary, the first draft, please send me a mail to the email address which is there in my presentation. I'm going to type it again here so that you can request that. It is narahari dot ruas at gmail.com. Okay, so this way you can also play around with the thing, and if you can add something else to it, please let me know so we can again share it with others. Try to increase the size of this thing. Okay, I believe that's right. Fine. Thank you.